Namaskar. Continuing with our video series on the refresher training manual for ministerial staff in the courts of Punjab, Haryana and UT Chandigarh. Today, we will look into the duties of librarian as envisaged under Chapter 9 of the said training manual. So, without further ado, let me take you to the duties of librarian. In every sessions division, there is a central library under the control of district and sessions judge. Librarian takes care of books in the central library. His duty is to maintain register of accession. No book from the library can be issued without written application. It contains two sets of books. One for the use of district and sessions judge and additional district and sessions judge, and second for the use of civil judge, senior division and other civil judges. Both set of books may be kept separately. High Court Rules and Orders, Volume 4, Chapter 18, deal with libraries. Rule 1. Libraries should keep in mind that books of reference, acts of the legislature and the legal periodicals required for the use of courts are to be obtained from any law publisher in India. Books not in the list cannot be purchased without the previous sanction of the High Court. District and sessions judge alone have the power to sanction purchase of the prescribed books for their own courts and subordinate courts. For this purpose, the expenditure shall be made from other contingencies. Acts of the legislature, codes and manuals as published by the state government are supplied free of cost by the Controller of Printing and Stationery Punjab. Acts of the legislature and all official publications of the Government of India and governments of other states are obtained on payment from the superintendent of the press or book depot of the government concerned, the cost being debited to 57 miscellaneous cost of books and periodicals. The Indian Post Telegraph Guide and the Telephone Directory are to be obtained on cash payment from the Post and Telegraph Department. Rule 3 speaks that the responsibility of the librarian is to see that sufficient budget is available to meet the cost of books, acts and legal periodicals purchased under these rules rests entirely with the disbursing officers, that is, the district and sessions judge and the civil judge senior division as the case may be. Rule 4 provides for the minimum books that have been prescribed for the residential library of every civil and criminal court. Residential libraries under Rule 6A. Minimum books have been approved by the High Court to be supplied to all the judicial officers for residential libraries. These books shall be of latest edition. High Court has also provided either of the following monthly journals to all the judicial officers. Law Finder, Library Edition by Chawla Publications Private Limited, Chandigarh, or SEC Online Web Edition Platinum Card Courts Edition Single User Version. How to make entries of new books. As envisaged under Rule 8. As soon as a new book is received, it must be stamped on the title page and in several places in the volume with the seal of the purchasing or receiving office, if not by purchase. It be entered in the accession register. When any book is not available in the library for any reason, a note should be made in the accession register of the manner in which it has been disposed of. Presiding officers of courts are responsible for arrangement made in accordance with these rules for the custody of books and the maintenance of accession register and list. How to maintain legal periodicals. Rule 13 says that each series of law reports and other legal periodicals published serially will be kept on a separate file till the series is complete. When it is complete, it be bound into volumes and brought onto the accession registers and list. Rule 14 says all correction slips to various acts, manuals, codes and rules and orders of the High Court shall be inserted as soon as they are received. Rule 14 says a register shall be maintained in each court by the officials in which the number and date of every correction slip received shall be entered. Rule 14 also says that the presiding officer must see that no undue delay occurs in such pasting. Rule 12 speaks that no book shall be issued from the library without a written requisition for it. The requisition will be placed where the book was. Rule 9 says that the reader in each case shall hold charge of books kept in a courtroom for the presiding officer and will be personally responsible for arrangement, protection, receipt, and issue of books. Rule 10 says that it will be the duty of the reader of each court to see that no unauthorized persons are allowed to remove or otherwise tamper with the books in the courtroom. Rule 15 says that when a change of the presiding officer takes place, the relieving officer will satisfy himself on taking over charge of office that the library of the court is complete and that the books are in good condition. The accession registers or list, as the case may be, are up to date. Any deficiencies will at once be brought to the notice of the court to which he is subordinate. Rule 8 speaks the personal liability must be fixed for all losses of books. The cost of missing books shall be recovered from those concerned even where the loss is found to be due to any failure on the part of a presiding officer to comply with rules. How to weed out the old books. Reading out old books. Rule 16 says that after the 1st January as soon as possible, every year, each presiding officer shall submit through the district and sessions judge for the orders of the High Court a list of books and publication which he thinks should be weeded out of his library. Books so weeded out with the sanction of the High Court shall be sold in the local market and the proceeds credited in the local treasury under the head 21, Administration of Justice, Miscellaneous. All books sold to private persons must be endorsed, sold with signature on title page. Care must be taken by all concerned that no book is suggested for reading out unless it is quite clear that it is of no use. Rule 17 says that the books in the library of every court shall be checked annually in the month of March by the presiding officers who shall report the result thereof to the district and sessions judge. The district and sessions judge shall then by the 31st of the same month report to the High Court the result of the check, including that of his own court. Accession register. Rule 7 says that an accession register shall be maintained in all district and sessions court in respect of books, acts, and other publications supplied or obtained for their use by all courts. The accession register maintained in the Court of Civil Judge Senior Division shall contain separate list for all courts of civil judges to which books, etc. have been supplied by Civil Judge Senior Division. A copy of such list being supplied to the presiding officer of each such court. Similar procedure will be adopted where a district and sessions judge court supplies books to an additional district and sessions judge. The accession register, which should be a blank register carefully ruled out, will contain the following columns: serial number, name of work, the edition or date of publication, the cost, date of receipt, date when it ceases to be in the court library, and reason for the same. For example, transfer, weeded out, lost, etc. and then remarks. That is all about the duty of a librarian. In the next video, we shall be looking at the chapter 10, which deals with the record room, destruction of judicial records, and duties of record keeper. Till then, Namaskar.